Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. There is trouble in the Heritage House here in Philadelphia, folks. We are at war. We're in biological war against an enemy that we cannot see. Cover that in just a second. I posted the chart of the crude oil, folks. The last couple of weeks, we've been quite bearish on crude oil, and now is the time that maybe it goes to 9, maybe it goes to 0. But by golly, if it gets to 23.50, that's it. We're going to take her out. That's take a look at it, see what it's looking at. So that's what we're watching here today. As you know, I've been in this business for a long time and have a lot of friends, and some of them are extremely successful, far more than me, but we're still in very close contact. And two of those gentlemen yesterday called me and said they were done shorting the market. And the reason was that we are at war, and we are going to have to stick together as a country, much like we did during World War II. I was just a little shaver, about a year, I think it was about 15 months old in World War II, when my mom dropped me off at my grandma's house in Clinton, Indiana, and it was actually, I think it was late 41. It was right after, it was 42. It was right after the bombing of Pearl. It was April, I believe. I was little, so I don't remember, but she dropped me off there, and her sister, my mom was 17, and her sister was 20, and they went to Chicago to build airplanes, and they were there for 3 years. I didn't see my mother for 3 years. They worked 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week for 3 years doing it. We're going to be going into something like that probably pretty close to fight this thing, but we are going to win. I saw a video this morning that Sarah shared with me from a woman on the crowded subway of New York just a few days ago. It was a Russian woman, and she was trying to beat on a little Chinese girl, and probably in her 20s, because she was Chinese, had nothing to do with it. I would like to share a couple pictures here I think that are interesting. One, here's a picture of the kids coming back from the United States. They're coming back from the UK to the United States. You can see them all, wearing their masks and everything. So that's going to be a thing to watch. Folks, in 1941, we started World War II, and it went on for 5 years. I don't think this is going to go long. Oh, that was a flight to Hong Kong, folks, from Europe to Hong Kong. Sarah just reminded me to tell you that. But that's, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to drop all this political BS and really get on the program here. When the problem, what happened this is my 2 cents worth, and it's overpriced at that price. What the Fed did the other day with the dropping the interest rates to almost zero and putting in $700 billion, they tipped their hand, and then President Trump has no choice but to come out with $1 trillion. It's going to have to be more than $1 trillion. It's probably going to be $4 trillion or $5 trillion. I don't know what's going to happen, but nobody else either. One thing I do know is that we live in the best country in the world. In 1943, my grandmother started to teach me about mathematics. And what she did is she used a deck of cards. And she showed me that when you have the 7, which is the 7 days it took God to create the earth, that is 7-card stud. She talked to me about the apostles, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But she said it was a queen, the Jack of Spades, Jack of Hearts, Jack of Clubs, and the Jack of Diamonds. Anyway, that's really how that got through. But anyway, I want to tell you a true story. I've said this before. My dad had 3 brothers. All of them were in the service. His oldest brother was with Patton in all through Africa and all through Italy. And when they got to the Rubicon in Italy, he was in a foxhole. You know what? I'm trying to make light of something here, but I can't really do that right now. Let's just move on to some of these charts. I posted the chart. I'll put the chart of the S&P here, and you'll be able to see here what I'm looking at here, possibly this morning. Let's just get this. I'm going to do it. I got a little bit better. Here's where we are. I don't think we're going to open down here. I believe we'll probably open, based on what Apple's doing right now, we probably open about 80 to 100 lower would be my guess, and that'll get us down to maybe that 127 level at one. See, that would be somewhere between 2320 and 2080. But we're heading down, to 19, folks. I don't think there's any question about that. We've talked about that several times. Yesterday was a chance we had to have a little bit of a rally to that 2365, and we didn't get there. So that's going to tell us that we're heading down to looks like this, somewhere between 2160 and 1935, and then maybe something will happen. But when you have all these industries, you got your travel industry, you got your entertainment industry, you got the energy industry. I mean, they're all asking for money at the same time. So this is the problem that we're facing here. And remember, just a few short weeks ago, we were talking about the Treasury bonds. Everybody in the whole world wanted Treasury bonds. And we said, folks, there's something not right here, because open interest is dropping as Treasury bonds are, going up. That's short covering, folks. We got to remember that. So the next time that it happens, we'll be able to, to pay attention to it, because open interest does mean something. These are contracts, and this is what you're looking at. Here's where we were with the TLT. I know a lot of you folks did the TLT trade because, it was one day off of the top. It was trading at 172. We were at 152 last night, and we're probably going to be a tad lower than that, but you can see the monster volume there. Look at that monster volume. Can you see that right on the high? I mean, look at that. That's a monster volume, and not only that, but open interest is dropping. There were no new buyers coming in. Now, what we're looking at is we're seeing a market like in crude oil. The market's totally collapsing, right? And there's no new buyers coming in, but guess what? That's actually a positive thing, because I don't know if crude oil is going to go to 12, 13, or I don't really care. All I know is that open interest is starting to drop in crude oil. That means the market is actually strengthening, if you can believe that. But anyway, that's what we're watching. So if you're in that, that's what I would be looking at to see if it's going to go. But we are at war, folks. Get ready. Our little supermarket here, Bosch's, pretty good size, bigger than Safeway, same size as Safeway, opened between 5 and 6 this morning for the old folks. Folks, they had to have a policeman in the parking lot, and he had all 7 registers running. That's where Arch Crawford shops, and believe me, there's never more than 3 registers running at any time. So it was totally packed this morning, and so people are starting to give it a little panic in here, and I don't think it's necessary, but the news is beating the hell out of it. So what are you going to do? You can't much else is what you're looking at. So we'll see what's happening. 877-927-6648.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks. We got a call from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the state with the most seniors. So, Max, how are you doing?
Fine. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning.
Thanks for doing the show every morning.
That's okay. What can I do for you?
When it goes limit down and the breakers hit, it's supposed to stay off for 15 minutes. How come overnight, when it goes limit down, it doesn't reopen until the market opens at 9:30? Well, why doesn't it come back on in 15 minutes?
I don't know the reason of it. That's a rule that Globex has, and so I guess they don't trade it once it was down 4.5%. The new circuit breaker coming on here in just about 12 minutes will be a 7.5% limit, so that would be about 120 points. I don't think it's going to open anywhere near there, and the reason why is Apple is actually holding up relatively well. But it's going to be rocking and rolling no matter what. So panic is starting to hit some of the market. So that's what those circuit breakers mean. You have to recalculate them every day because it's based on what the closing price was. So if you take 7.5% of the closing price that we had, which was $23.93, that would take you down to whatever it is. I forget the exact number, but my guess is it's going to open about 40 or 50 lower in the S&P, and then we'll see. There's some links here in the TFNN room. If you get in there, you'll be able to see those links. So that might help you a little bit. But we haven't had this situation for years and years in the S&P that I can remember, and that we didn't even have circuit breakers back in '87. So we're approaching the amount of money that we lost in 1987. We were down. We dropped 16% on the October the 19th. So we're probably going to be pretty close to that 40% limit here pretty soon here, and that should bring in a little bit. Here, Duffy's telling us that 22.25 is limit down, so that would be about 170 points from where we are. So that's basically what I'm looking at. I hope that helps.
Okay, and if anybody in the den has any other site I can go to, they closed up Zero Hedge, and it was a pretty good a market news site. Does anybody in the den have a better site to go to now?
Yeah. all you have to do to get that is go to www.CME, ChicagoMercantileExchange.com, and it'll be there. They'll have the rules there right for you.
Yeah, but I was just talking about market news during the day. Zero Hedge used to have the market news during the day, and they shut him down. I just wondered if anybody's going to a different site.
David White has just told us that SeekingAlpha.com is a good one, so you might want to check that one. And also, we're hearing that Zero Hedge is still up. If you want to check on that one, Zero Hedge is still up and going. And also, Forex Live is another one that they're saying is pretty good. So you might want to keep those in mind.
Okay, thank you.
You bet, Max. Thank you. Stay safe, my friend.
Will do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, folks. I guess we'll be doing something here pretty soon. Okay, let's move on to what's happening. So, folks, this is where we are now is different. I've been in this business for a very long time, and I've never seen anything like this. I've only read about it a few times, and we'll have to see what's going to happen. But this is really a situation where we are at war, and we have to realize that. And we're going to be fine, because once we stick together as a country, no one can stop us. We have a great structure. I mean, we've got lots of problems, but hell, everybody else does too. The fact that more people are dying in Italy is not unusual, because many of those people that are dying are in the dying category anyway. You know, the average age there, I mean, for dying somewhere around 79, and most of those people are in that category. So as long as you stay away from big crowds, and as long as you wash your hands and use a little bit of common sense, you're probably going to make it through here. It's us old folks that are at risk, and I'm actually not scared of any of this stuff, but maybe I will get sick. I don't know, but nothing to worry about. If worrying did any good, I'd go over in the corner and worry all day long, but that's not going to help. I want to share with you from my good friend Larry Williams. He's got some stuff. He's looking for a bottom here, folks, sometime in the next 2 or 3 to 4 weeks. I'm going to run through these. Charts here. If you want to see any of these, you go to iReallyTrade, and that'll give you the what you're going to be looking at. It's Larry Williams, and it's iReallyTrade.com. He'll have those. He sent a special video on it. These are the charts. Basically, what he's looking at charts where you're going to have wide expansions of ranges and big volume. I'm going to run through these quickly so you can take a look at it and see. If you want information on the COVID virus at all that's any good, go to www.johnshopkins.com. They flat out got the best one. My daughter did a residency there, and they really do a good job there. But they're keeping a pretty good eye on what's happening. But I'm going to go through these to show you the fact that we are in a panic type situation, whether this is going to be something that is going to be really crazy or not, but some of these are just absolutely amazing where we are. Ruby, I haven't got time to look at coffee and sugar right now, darling, but if I do at the break, I'm going to do it for you. But if people are still going to be using coffee and sugar, Ruby, I can promise that. But there's going to be some incredible opportunities here in these commodity markets that are much easier, to right now. If you're not already in the S&P, and believe me, I'm no longer, I recommended this thing, way up when it was up in that 33 something. And when we got to 25.50, that's where I said, this is it. We want to take it off here, and it rallied up. And I was looking for a rally to get long that I've never been able to reinstate it. Yesterday, I was trying to do 25.65, but it didn't get there. So let's just look at a few of these others. But I highly recommend, Larry Williams is a really smart dude. And if you really want to take an idea of some of the stuff he does great research. I've known Larry just about 58 years. We were about 21 when we met. And last one is on the 203 to 213. You can see the big volume. Well, my goodness, you should see the volume where we are now, folks. I mean, this thing is off the charts. Let's just take a look at it, and you'll be able to see something is going to happen here, or we're going to lose the whole thing. And I don't think that's going to happen. The reason why, even though we borrow $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there, the United States of America has a lot of assets. I mean, most of the land in the country is owned by by the government. So, there's a lot of stuff. We've got a tremendous army. We've got we've just got a lot of great things. Our educational, lots of problems. I know that. But compared to other countries, we're in pretty good shape. But we'll do one thing at a time. These zero interest rates are not any help, folks. That is flat out that's part of the problem, not the solution. But there's my 2 cents worth. We're going to take a little break here, and then when we come back, we are going to. That was old. Edward Dirksen said that, I think, Marshall. Pretty soon you're billion here, billion there. Pretty soon you're talking serious money. Now they're talking trillions. 877-927-6648. Sugar and coffee coming up.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, Butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we opened down at 2345 in the S&P. That was down about 60. That was pretty much what we were thinking about happening, and we've already rallied 20 points. So we'll see what's going to happen here as we look at some of these things. The main thing that we're watching this morning is to try to cover that crude oil at the 23 and change level that we're 2350 is what we're looking at, and right now we're trading at 2460. So we're only a dollar away. We should be okay at looking at that. So we've only been open 2 minutes. We've had a 40-point range in the S&P already. So it's not for the faint of heart as we look at this, folks. We're going to get through this. It's just a question of when and how long it's going to take. And my guess is it's going to be a lot shorter than some people think. But I'm wrong a lot. So let's just keep a close eye on it. Here in Tucson, there's very, very little panic going on. The markets are still open and stuff. And the other market, there was another market that was open at between 5 and 6 in the morning, and it was pretty much empty. My goodness, we've already rallied 45 points in the S&P. We've only been open a little bit, and we'll see how this ends up. We'll have some fun here looking at some of these markets. The gold had a beautiful pattern last night. We got down to that 135 pattern at 14.95. We rallied up to 15.11. Now let's take a minute here to look at the two charts that Ruby asked about. Look at the monster move off the 618 in coffee, folks. Man, that's a big move today in the midst of the whole world coming apart. Oh my goodness, that's a tremendous move. And if you look at sugar, look at that weekly chart in sugar with the ABCD. The key thing to take away here that we talked about last week is the fact that it gapped. This is a weekly chart. It gapped below the 61% retracement. We're back to where we were months ago after that big ABCD pattern at 16. So these patterns don't work all the time, but when they do work, it gives you a pretty good chance of, what you're watching as far as seeing some of the things that you think will be happening. So that's all I can tell you, and I'm sticking to it. The U.S. dollar is still screaming. We got the euro down to that 109 and change. We're below the 78% level by quite a bit, and so we're still looking at the dollar to go a lot higher. I think the euro might be heading down towards that par level at 100 over a longer period of time, but that's neither here nor there. We'll have to do one thing at a time as we look at these things. The price of some of the commodities have gone far below the cost of production, like we're looking at in the corn and also in cattle and also in hogs. And it's very hard to get good quality red meat here in Tucson. It is available, but it's not as easy as it used to be. That's neither here nor there. Okay. By the way, I wanted to just one second here. We'll get through here. All righty, let's move on here a little bit and try to cover a few of the other things. I've already covered the bonds. The bonds have had a pretty big break from where we were looking at. I believe that market has topped for quite a while. What we want to do is watch the rallies. We've already had a 4-point rally today, and whether that means too much or not, I don't know. Someone's asked me about. See, here's the problem that we're faced with, folks, and they've never. Hey, the boys in Wall Street have never. Most of these guys. Well, there's nobody. There's Ed. Hold on, just a second. Let's get. You'll notice here that we're below the 78% level on the weekly chart for United Airlines, folks. The number one airlines in our country. I think it's the biggest. I mean, and look at Boeing, folks. We went from 440 to 130 in Boeing. Now they're actually got their hand out. And that's not a good sign when you got the number one airplane maker in the world is asking for money. And this is it. And there might not be any there. I don't know. But all I know is that we're going to be okay. So just learn as you go. That's what we're looking at. So, yeah, Duffy's saying that's COVID, the virus now. Next will be locusts. Who knows? And, the problem, folks, it wouldn't be nearly as bad if the news people, if the journalists and stuff had a sense of decency and wouldn't scare the bejeebers out of everybody. Believe me, you know what I mean? They wouldn't be nearly as bad. That's for sure. That's my 2 cents worth, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. All right. Someone's asked a question about when my Uncle Paul was when they were crossing the Rubicon in Italy, and he was a staff sergeant for General Patton, and they were in this foxhole, and they were being bombarded by mortars. I mean, it was unbelievable. The Germans were just bombarding him, and then he was in the foxhole with another young man from southern Arkansas, and another young man who was from Uganda, who was a U.S. citizen that was in the Army as a private. The three of them were there, and it looked like it was the end of times. And Uncle Paul said, I think it's about time we should pray. And one boy says, I don't know how to pray. I don't know how to pray. And the other guy says, I really don't either. And Uncle Paul says, well, I know how to pray. He says, I live next to a Catholic church. I heard this every Saturday night. So just follow me with what I tell you. And he said, okay. And Uncle Paul said, under the B, number 8, under the I, 21, under the N, 35, under the G, 55, under the O, 89. And that was the secret of how they got through the war. For those of you that are not really good with math, those were all Fibonacci numbers, and it works out to bingo. Anyway, let's get to something serious here. We're going to be getting a bottom down in here someday soon. I don't know what it is, but the market is extremely oversold, and when too many people are doing this, it's going to be really difficult. Now, we're very close to that first objective of 22 and change. We didn't quite. I can't keep prices up as I'm looking at, but we got to 2340, so 100 points after. Look at the range we've had, folks. We went from 2340 to 2410, a 90-point handle, and now we're already back. We've moved 160 points, and we've only been open for 10 minutes. Now, that's not for the faint of heart. Believe me, that's you got to be really careful. Now, if you're watching things, if you're going to do something, watch what 10% of the market is. That's basically Apple and Softy, Microsoft and Apple. Watch those. If they start to come unglued, then we're in big, big trouble. But if those two stocks can hold up, they could hold up the rest of the market for two reasons. One, it's extremely oversold, okay? And we're over some really big, Astro stuff. Tomorrow, what is today? Today's Wednesday, the 18th, right? Well, let's see. No, we've got Norm coming in on the 20th. Tomorrow's the equinox. We got the first day of spring tomorrow. So that's going to be, who knows? That may or may not be a bottom. All I know is that it's not for the faint of heart. That's for sure. And you know what? In just about any of these markets, with the exception of the currencies are acting beautifully. I mean, you look at we had a beautiful retracement in the euro last night, a little small ABCD on a half-hour chart right up there at that I think it was 109.80 or something like that. We're now at 109.12. So you see these all the time. Just move down to a smaller time frame and trade those. And that's the easier way to do it. That way you don't have to risk an arm and a leg. That's what we're watching. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So let's hopefully that we're going to be okay no matter what. We are going to be okay. I think I can guarantee it, but by golly, you just never know. So anyway, that's really now. Right now, what we're doing is we're setting in this. If you can count this 10-minute range, anything. We just made a 61% retracement here at 2370. If we can hold this a little bit, we might get a little bit more of a rally. But somewhere between 2370 and 2360 might be the early support here in the S&P. But believe me, the emphasis there is early. EARLY. 877-927-6640.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Trading Hour with Tom and Tommy O'Brien. Next.
Okay, folks, we're back. So far, the S&P has held at 2370. Boy, we're running 20 handles. You remember just a few weeks ago, folks, 20 handles was a pretty good daily range. Now it's a good daily range for a 5-minute bar chart. So keep in mind that that's pretty important. Folks, I'll tell you, just looking at charts, and hey, I'm just a chartist. I just want you to, I'm going to post something here. Maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't. All I'm going to do is to bring this up, and you make your own decision. I'm just an old country boy from Terre Haute, Indiana, and I want you to see this chart, and whether it means anything or not, I don't know, but this is what I'd be watching. Let me get this up here. Okay, there's the chart of Apple, folks. We did not make a low from the 13th of March as of yet, and you see how much lower we are in some of these other things. That's actually a pretty good sign. That's probably one of the reasons why we had a rally. I don't know. I'm just looking at these charts, but Apple's a big one. When Apple gives up, folks, that's when the proverbial will hit the fan, because 90% of their profits are poured back into the company or given out to the employees. So when they stop doing that, that's when the real problem will happen. And if it does, I don't know. All I know is we're going to have some fabulous buying opportunities here in some of these commodities, especially things like corn and soybeans and other things that look, really important. So now all we've done so far in the S&P here on this little chart that I'm watching is all we've done is we made the 61% retracement on the downside, and now we've made the 61% retracement on the upside. I'll post this up here so you can take a quick look at it. I'm not trading this puppy. I'm just looking at just showing you how these Fibonacci numbers work. That's all I'm doing. I hope that helps, but who knows? We're trading at 24.55 in the crude oil as we make new lows, and I believe we've got a chance here. We got down as low as 24.30. The number we're looking at in the oil is 23.50. That's when we move on and ring the cash register, hopefully, and thank the good Lord upstairs and move on to the next trade. We're really watching closely, folks, the action in the markets for these commodities, because we're first of all, they're cleaning out the shelves everywhere, and if they're laying off people, they're not going to be able to replace it. So when these things start to become online, they're really going to be valuable. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these things unload. We live in new territory, folks. We are basically at war with a unseen enemy, because we don't know anything about it other than that it's a virus and it's causing problems. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe this is biological warfare. I know, well, hey, I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but it's affected the whole world. And the problem, the actual right now, the media is a worse problem than the flu, in my opinion, because it only has a death rate of around 2%, with the exception of Italy. And remember, they didn't do anything to protect themselves with, keeping people from coming in from foreign countries to start out with. So that's it. I only know one person, some gentleman across the pond over there, that has the virus, and he's doing just fine. So we'll see what's going on. But they're maximizing this, folks, and we'll be that Tucker just broke the code. The press should be quarantined for 60 days. That's the main thing, and you've got to remember that. That's very, very important. I got a really good joke about that, but we are not going to go into that, about breaking the code. All right, let's move on here to someone's asked a question about the gold market. The gold held the level yesterday. We had a heck of a move. It rallied about $80. We were fortunate enough to get 70 of that. Gave a tiny bit of it back this morning when we tried to get a bottom. We made the 78% level there at $14.95 that I posted. As long as we don't go below $14.95, we're going to be bullish here in gold for at least the next 3 or 4 hours. And I'm saying hours now because these are moves that we usually see on weekly charts. We're now seeing them on 5-minute charts. So you've got to scale your program down a little bit and look at those as we watch them unfold. We do have Norm Winsky will be on as our guest on Friday, and we were hopefully going to have Stan Harley on today, but he's rather busy, as you can imagine, like most other people, because this is a watershed type of event, and we're going to find out over time. I don't think this is going to be a long, drawn-out affair, folks. That's my 2 cents worth, and the only reason I say that is because what you see in the news, they're pounding it so badly that you know what let me explain to you. This is me talking, okay? You know what they're doing? They're doing the same. I'm going to shut up or I'm going to get in big trouble. 1963, President Kennedy got assassinated by a lone gunman, Lee Harvey Oswald. Anybody that believes that should go out and buy 2 shares of the Brooklyn Bridge, because there is no way in God's green earth that man at that distance could have shot the president with that gun. It was impossible, because that is a Mancler Carcano Italian knockoff Mauser rifle. The bolt action, I owned one because they sold them at Shotgun News for $9.95. This was before the president was assassinated, and the bolt wiggled so that when the bullet went out, it could go 10 feet another direction. You couldn't even hit the side of a barn with that gun. And that's one of the reasons why Patton was able to go through northern Italy so easily. Well, it wasn't easy, but, he made it through all the way to Dachau and, to relieve the Germans of their command. But that gun, there's no way that he could have shot him. It's physically impossible. Not only that, there were 3 shots, and you couldn't do 3 shots with that gun in 2.9 seconds. They don't bring that stuff up, but who knows? All right, let's move on. I think we're going to be all right. You got to put your hands in the arms of the Creator now, folks. And but we are going to make it. Everything's going to be good. The bottom's going to be here someday, and then we'll have some fun again. But we've got a lot of things coming up here in these commodities, folks. I mean, they really are. We're really putting a low here in corn and wheat and beans, and that's and meal's been pretty good to us on the short side, so we're out of that. So we're watching now for some really good buys. So that's it. A friendly hello and a good buy. Look at coffee's up 10 cents today. Well, that's a good idea. Everybody's going to be staying home drinking coffee for sure. If you have any questions, Al just told me that there is one line still open. All the other lines are lit up. 877-927-6648. And also pay attention to what's happening in Florida with the disease, because they're 10% of the population, more than 10%, 20% of the population there is over the age of 65. So that's that's neither here nor there. So let's sort of pay attention to this. Let me double check to see where we are. We're still in that zone between highs and lows in the S&P. We went up to the 61% of that early morning range at 2397. We're now 20 handles lower. The ABCD structure on this takes you down to 2360. That would be the ABCD. And this is a 2-minute chart, folks, so we're talking 20 minutes. And using my reverse oscillator with the 200-second moving oscillator with the 400-second moving oscillator, taking the square roots of the reciprocals of both of those and adding to that the square root of 5, it needs to hold 2360. 877-927-6648.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we've got Victor on the line from New Jersey. A question about silver. Victor, what can I do for you?
First thing, silver, but I just want to let you know the whole agenda is one world government. It was since the swine flu they've been planning this. We're going to have one world government within 3 weeks, and you'll be on the gold standard. You'll see.
Okay,
and
what can I do for you?
You're going to call me your mentor. But, yeah, give me silver. I like it at 11. I'm nibbling a little here, especially if you're on the gold standard.
At 1177, silver made a 78% retrace, a 1.27 expansion of the long-term monthly chart. So it can't go below 1177. It's trading around 1240 right now. I do like long silver and long gold. I think they've haven't got a chance of holding here. But the one government thing I'm not so sure of. But if you're right, I'll be happy to be mentored by you and just let me know how to.
3 weeks.
Within 3 weeks. Okay, so this is the 18th. So you're talking. Oh, Victor, this is very simple. That's April Fool's Day.
Yep. You want my word.
Okay.
Mark my word. Well, it's going to get worse, so bunker down.
We've got you on our watch list, my friend, and thank you for calling in. We certainly appreciate it. Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Bet. All right. Since we're talking about one world government, I ought to bring this up. This is one of the symbols from one of these guys that talks about the Illuminati and stuff. You'll note this is their symbol here, which happens to be a wolf in sheep's clothing. You notice that it's a very creative, but that actually happens to be their band. I'm not going to mention who they are or anything, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, let's see how we're doing here in the market before we leave you guys. And as long as we can stay above this 2360 level, I think we had a nice run here in the S&P here. Turned around, and wow, that's a pretty good look. We made an ABCD, folks. The ABCD measured to 24.25. That's a good sign. There's a little bit of buying coming in. That's a good sign. The key, look at this. Here's the key, folks. This, to me, this is the one you got to watch when you're watching these crazy markets, because it's 10% of the market, and that's nothing more than Mr. Appel.